will open your eyes to a new world and march to a new beat. World Beat is saying farewell to public access and is coming to Comcast Channel 6. The award-winning music magazine show will feature the latest and hottest videos by your favorite celebrities, along with exclusive interviews you won't see anywhere else. World Beat will also feature up-to-the-date reports on the latest happenings in the Caribbean world. So slip yourself into our groove and move with us to the new World Beat.
Of Prince Tejimula Adefumi and his family. The culture, religion, and language as lived in Ojotunji are documented to give understanding of the ways of the Yoruba people.
Here in the village of Ojotunji in Beaufort, South Carolina, where the Yorubas practice their livelihood and their lifestyles and their culture. And they've been here for several decades at this time. I'm here to talk with His Royal Highness Osajuan Adefumi I. For those of you who do not understand this, we will say that he is the Oba, the king of all the Yorubas of North America. We're here to discuss this afternoon a very tragic situation for His Highness, the death of his brother. I'm going to go over and get him now, and hopefully you will find this very interesting from a spiritual point of view as it relates to the Yoruba when they have death in their families. Thank you. Ago, Cabiesio!
Hey, wole!
Cabiesi! Cabiesi!
Wole, why? You know me doing? I'm going to go, Chief. I'm out this day. Jackie!
How are you, sir?
I do quiet. Hold on a minute. I do quiet. Or down. You know me doing, okay? I don't mention me. I did so, G.
I'm here to meet with them to discuss the Prince Tejimula, and who is His Highness's brother, and who is the father of the young man standing to my right.
Every single aspect of human thinking and behavior is deified. And you can trace every aspect or every endeavor or every kind of work back to a god or a goddess. And that presides over that kind of work or that kind of activity, whatever it is. Even if it is games of chance. We have the god Eshu that presides over that. And so every human activity, whether it's hairdressing or whether it's being a mechanic or a truck driver or whatever it is, there is a god or goddess that presides over it. We're going to go into the family ancestor shrine.
Yes, sir.
Oba, King Osajuan Adefumi, was initiated into the E5 priesthood in Nigeria in 1972. He founded the Yoruba village of Ojotunji in Beaufort County, South Carolina. There he began the careful reorganization of the Orisha Voodoo priesthood along the traditional Nigerian line.
He will become a member of the great ancestry of our family.
Okay, may I just say for the viewing audience His Highness had established this village and home for the Yoruba several, as I mentioned earlier, several years back, several decades at this stage. And we are here now to look at what is going to occur in a relationship to the demise of his brother from this world as it relates to the Yoruba.
What is going to happen is he will join all of this great array of royal ancestors. Our family is descended from royalty of the Dahomian people, and it is also descended from chiefs among the Yorubas. And we go back to the time of King Atiba, the king of the Yorubas, who had to fight against the Mohammedans or the Muslims during the attempt of the Fulani and the Hausa to invade and overrun the Yoruba country. It was at that time that great chief Adefumi came forward, joined the forces with King Atiba, and there established that family as part of the great chiefs of the Yorubas of ancient Oyo. And so we are descended from that line. On my father's side, we are descended from the great king Tegbesu, one of the Aladohonu kings. The Aladohonu was the dynasty which ruled over Dahomey in ancient West Africa before the unhappy days of slavery. Well, Prince Tejumola now, as we will pronounce that it is time for you, dear brother, now that we have completed your funeral arrangements, it is time for you to fly south to Ife. Ife is the holy city of the Yorubas. It's also the name of Yoruba heaven. It's where all honored ancestors go. They do not go to the oblivion of heaven as you have in your Semitic thought, but rather, on the other hand, they go to their ancestors, to an ancestral city, which is both physical and spiritual. At Ife, then, he will enter his father's palace. Our father is already there. He will enter our father's palace and be received there into his chamber of princes. After that, of course, his spirit being of ancient African descent, it will then fly east to the pyramids of Giza. It will fly east to the pyramids of Giza, and there will unravel the riddle of the Sphinx. From there, his spirit then will fly further south to the site of ancient Kush, where in the desert winds he will hear the voices of the ancestors of our race. Then, listening towards heaven, he will hear the hoofbeats of the Pharaoh's chariots, which will descend to him. He will cry out to them, and they will come to take him into the mysteries of our great ancestors, where his soul is going to be recharged, and if we continue to worship him, then he will be back again. And approximately another generation, some of our descendants, perhaps his granddaughter, is going to bring back his spirit again. And that is how brilliance and intelligence is kept in a family, and certain families become dynamic and brilliant because they keep alive and keep returning the great spirits of their members.
Was your brother a dynamic person?
Enormously dynamic. Wherever he went, he automatically became a leader in that social order. And at Riviera Beach, down in Florida, certainly he was a very dynamic figure. Everyone knows him. They insisted that we should have a memorial ceremony there for him.
I understand that when I looked at the memorial ceremony, we said Prince. How did he get the title of Prince?
Well, because his brother is a king.
solemn duty to remind us all, Danny, let you go, that we are gathered here to perform the final rites of passage for our beloved brother and prince, Tejumola Aladohono Adefumi. And so it becomes also necessary on these occasions to remind us that this is a rite of passage through which sooner or later each one of us must pass. It is our solemn hope that when it comes your time to join that innumerable caravan which moves to that mysterious realm, that it is your descendants and your family who will be prepared to render unto you the proper rites so that you may enter into the kingdom of the African dead. Lest to your everlasting tragedy you remain outside of the abode of your ancestors, and you may never see them, you may never greet them, you may never live in their royal domain. It also becomes necessary for us to remind each one of us that man born of woman hath but a short time to live. Man born of woman hath but a short time to live. He cometh up and is cut down like a flower. He fleeth, as it were, a shadow, and he continueth not in one state. Inasmuch as it has pleased the ghosts of our fathers to summon unto their domain the ancestral soul of our dear brother, Prince Tejumola Aladohono Adefumi, we do hereby then sit and plead to that august tribunal that as his troubled survivors of his brutal climax, we are prepared to witness in his behalf and to plead this litigation before the tribunals of his ancestors and his elders. We all know that he did indeed take up arms against a sea of troubles and sought by opposing to ameliorate them for his brothers and his people and his race. But O ye gods, how wicked, stale, flat, and unprofitable seemed to him all the uses of this world. It was a garden gone to seed. Things rank in nature possessed it truly. For most of us who sit here today and who have challenges before us, it were better done to leave things as they were or as they are, and to let our death liberate us from so much heathenism and misery. To die, to sleep. For in that final sleep we say we, in the heartaches and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. Sometimes, indeed, death is a consummation devoutly to be wished. But to die, a chance to dream. For who would fardels bear to sweat and grunt under a weary load, but that the dread of something after death, that undiscovered bourne from whence no traveler returns, puzzles our will, and causes us to bear the ills we have than to fly to others that we know not of. Thus does conscience make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is often sicklied over with the pale cast of thought. And enterprises of great pitch and moment with this regard, their currents turn awry and lose the name of action. Now all heaven knows, as do all those who knew this prince, that his fearless action did indeed bring on his brutal murder, and did untimely force him to these final rites of passage. It is to his royal credit and to his royal memory that in this time of passion that we hear his spirit proclaim to us all, "I've done my work well, saith the prince, and I am tired. I have fought back the witches, and I have served the causes of my people. I have preached the glories of my fathers, and I have kept the customs of the kingdom. I stand now in the south wind, which carrieth the voice of my God from the land of the leopard. Arrows in great numbers pierce my body, and my bleeding doth nourish the elephant grass. Now whose warriors die with their quivers by their side? O red Lord of fire, from whose sacred forge the holy knives of war are born, did I please you on the battlefield? I am ready now to cross the Ethiopic Sea, and to hear the judgment the ancient ones shall pass on me. Earnestly I seek my father's palace, and I want to give to Gedi Nimbo the fee to open at the gates, where entering in a servant shall come to guide me to the prince's chambers. It is also altogether fitting and proper on these occasions that we read the ancestry of the deceased in order to inform them and to inform all those within listening of the lineage from which our beloved prince is descended. So we take now this time to read to you the history, first in the Yoruba language and then in English, of Prince Aladohono Adefume. Olodumare ajuba gbogbo iku, Olúwa timbelesi Olodumare iba orun torun, mojuba àwọn àkóso Aladohono, eluju di kweki eluju ekun, mojuba de ki a fi sile dahumen, mojuba na wanjile yeye buwo àkóso tegbesu, ofo lai lai ofu wolori, adanza dana dana ite Aladohono. Titi akoko na Aladohono edile ya nikwa ida meji sigbo ilunla gome, ida meji sife wuoko Georgia, nlanla ida home nlanda siwaju ohumbobo, kushe ida home aido wedo ikwelese ati igbeyin. Ní ọdún láéláé àti bọ́ ọmọ ọba aláfin àbí ọdún bá èṣin nílọ́rẹ́ tó ṣẹ́gun. Láàrin Olúwa àti bá àwọn Adéfúnmi kí kọ́kọ́ sí ìgbì kan. Lẹ́yìn ogun gbọ́dọ̀ àkọ́gbọ́ nípa Olúwa Adéfúnmi jù rárá. Ṣé kí àwọn Mùsùlùmí Fúlàní Ìlọrin tó gbà ó? Àti ta ó sí àwọn Amẹ́ríkà. Títí ọba Adéfúnmi Èkínní ọmọ ọba Lúwàmáza orúkọ ẹrú Roy H. King àti ìyá ọba Adéfúnmi orúkọ ẹrú William Maza. Mojuba Kitty Jones, yeah, Baluala do Hunu Maza. Mojuba Eloise King Omo Akambe o Baluala do Hunu Maza Tia Lode Ngomo. Mojuba, yeah, Toby, Grandpa. Tohio Edilia de Fumetalo ni Lekia T de Biobiri Omo Ba Nick Batio Deleni Rieru America. Mojuba, yeah, Toby, Harriet Campbell. Omo Tohio Ade Fumi, Harriet Eru Tio Imbo, Reverend Whitfield T. Anderson County, South Carolina. Mojuba, yeah, Toby Ida Campbell, Omo Harriet Atio Imbo, Onieru. Mojuba, Omo de Kurin, Kekere Abiku, T. Ida, T. John Alexander Hamilton, Eru, Abu African, Ted Dile Alexander Hamilton, Onio Wo Ibo. Mojuba, Martha Hamilton, yeah, John Oni, Rum Pupa. Mojuba, yeah, Oba, Wilhelmina, Omo, John Oni, Ru Pupa, yeah, Toby, Da Campbell, Tia Dile Ade for me. Mojuba, Arabirin, Caroline King, Omo, Royal, Balua, Alado, Maza, King, Ati, yeah, Oba, Blanche Louise, Wilhelmina Hamilton, King Ade for me. Mojuba, Omo, Roba. Tejumola Alada Hono Ade Fumi, Omo Marunti Oba Lua Alada Hono Maza Ati Oba Ade Fumi, Any Titi Iquania Ni Ile Isore Si Riviera Beach. Arakunun Titungo, She Omonaria Wo Aquania Tile, Fiaje Tile Lojuani, Loni B Neshui, She. Loni, 1991, Amaki Irati, Dilia do Honua de Fume, Ajuba Ale Ono, Alade, Dilia Obao, Sejimane, Kini, Alashe Ojotunji, Aki Oma, Sikunda, Omombaji Ati, Ki Bobo, Loriti, Ojotunji Ati Bobo, Mo Wanyi. Aki Ade Soji, Alado Hono Ade Fumi, Ati, Shuli, Alado Hono Ade Fumi. Omo loge, omo bate, jumola ati, aya kini Geraldine Dawson. Aki Roy Thomas King, omo ade soji ati, monishe. Tani omo loju oma te jumola won. Timbe fefendi shedale Africa America. In the English language, then we send these notices to our ancestors. Olodumare, O Father of this galaxy, we praise thee. All honored ancestors who live at the feet of Olodumare, homage to the people of heaven. I praise the kings of the Oladohono dynasty. In time, the field belongs to the leopard. I salute those buried in the soil of Dahomey. I praise Queen Mother Wanjile, mystical mother of King Tegbesu. All cursed be forever heavy curses upon the head of Adanzan, robber of the throne of Aladohono. Since that time, the Aladohono lineage has been divided. Half in the forest of Abomey, the capital of Dahomey, half in the wide cotton fields of Georgia. Dahomey is great and must come before all else. Praise. Dahomey is Aido Huedo, the beginning and the end. In ancient times, Prince Atiba, son of Alafin Abiodun, was at war with the Ilorin horse. Among the chiefs who gathered around Atiba, the Adefumis came. After the Badar War, we hear nothing of Chief Adefumi at all. Did the Muslim Fulani Ilorins capture him and sell him to America? Until King Adefumi, the first son of Obalua Maza, slave named Roy Henry King, and Iaoba Adefumi, slave named Wilhelmina Hamilton, again do we hear the name Adefumi. I praise the great Aladohono Mazi, Tohio, grandmother Aladohono, ancestress of the Aladohono enslaved. I praise Charles King, father of Obalua Aladohono Maza. I praise Kitty Jones, mother of Obalua Aladohono Maza. I praise Eloise King, first child of Obalua Aladohono Maza, and the lady we do not know. I praise great rings and bracelets of a king's child when she arrived in America in slave iron. I praise great-great-grandmother Harriet Campbell, child of the Adefumi lineage founder. Harriet, slave of the white man, Reverend Whitfield of Anderson County, South Carolina. I praise grandmother Ida Campbell, child of Harriet and the red-haired white man. I praise the little son of Ida and John Alexander Hamilton, Octoroon, descended from the family of Alexander Hamilton, keeper of the white man's money. I praise Martha Hamilton, mother of red-haired John. I praise Queen Mother Wilhelmina, child of red-haired John, and grandmother Ida Campbellton of Adefumi line. I praise the sister Caroline King, daughter of Roy Obalua Aladahonu Maza King, and Queen Mother Blanche Louise Wilhelmina Hamilton, King Adefumi. I praise Tejumola Aladahonu Adefumi, fifth child of Obalua Aladahonu Maza, and Iaoba Adefumi, who was murdered in his factory at Riviera Beach. Oh, sweet brother, lead us to find your murderers. Put your blood over their faces. Today, you become a Nesuswe. Today, January 1991, we salute the descendants of the Aladohono Adefumi clan. We praise the crown holder of the clan king, Adefumi Osejuman I, Alashe of Ojotunji. We salute brother Alexander Asikunda, Prince Mbaji, and we salute all of the queens of Ojotunji and all of the princes and princesses. We salute Adesoji Aladohono Adefumi and Shirley Shuli Aladohono Adefumi, child of the late Prince Tejumola and his first wife, Geraldine Dawson. We salute Roy Thomas King, son of Adesoji and Monishe, who is child of Prince Tejumola. They live in the winds of cultural change among the African Americans. And now, before we commit to its final place of installation, the ashes of our dear brother, we do make these wishes for his journey. We say to him, and now, dear Prince, it is time for you to return to Ife, for that is your ancestral home. It is to Ife that you must go to be crowned prince, for that is the land from which you come. And when you get there, you must find your father's palace. And when you have seen all of your family who are living there, and praise the gods of Africa, then, O Prince, you must fly east across the Great Sahara to the pyramids of Giza. And when you have unraveled the riddle of the Sphinx, then fly south to walk the massive corridors of Holy Karnak. Then fly further south to the site of ancient Kush, where in the desert wind you will hear the voices of the ancestors of our race. Then turn your ears towards heaven, where from the burning sun you will hear the hoofbeats of the Pharaoh's horses. They will be bringing a chariot for you, and you must cry out to them, "Swing down, chariot, come and let me ride. Swing down, chariot, come and let me ride. Swing down, chariot, come and let me ride. Oh, rock me now, slow and easy. I get home on the other side. Swing down, chariot, come and let me ride. Swing down, chariot, come and let me ride. Atiria bomba la tinho. Écoutez, ara corrente me. Ati, nisi, ala. Juba, kibiba ni, amarono, nekwa, etile ade, amarono nekwa yo. Ati nigbati, ayibri kwa ati, me osobo wa soro wa, agoele, ara corrente me. Soju wa, shishe fuwa. Remember now that according to our traditions, an ancestor must come back in the form of a gungung and to give their descendants their final blessing. And so when the festival of Egungun comes, that is then when the Egungun rites for Prince Tejumola Aladohunu Adefume will then be observed. And so until that time then, may our prince find his great welcome in the ancestral lands. May he see all of his ancestors, which go all the way back to those days and times before slavery. May they greet him. May he see his ancient royal ancestors, those kings of Dahomey, and of course, those chiefs of Oyo. May they all recall him, and may they all see to it that we here are protected, and that what we do here is blessed by them. Ashe. Oda. Tumbasile.
Tumbasile, tumbasile aba. Tumbasile, tumbasile aba. Tumbasile, tumbasile. Tumbasile, tumbasile aba.
Tumbasile.
nílẹ̀ Amẹ́ríkà àti gbogbo. Àdúpẹ́ ọ̀. Ó Bàtálá ó ṣàlà ó ṣàgìyàn. Ó Bàtálá ó ṣàlà ó rìṣà ńlá. Ó Bàtálá ó ṣàlà àdúpẹ́ o. Ó Bàtálá ó ṣàlà ó rìṣà ńlá. Ó Bàtálá ó ṣàlà ó ṣàgìyàn. Ó Bàtálá ó ṣàlà ó rìṣà ńlá. Ó Bàtálá ó ṣàlà ó rìṣà ńlá. Bàtálá àkí Ifá o. Ògègè igi agúnlá, ògègè igi agúnlá, Ọ̀rúnmìlà gún gègé o, igi òrò ló máa kú o. Ògègè agúnlá, ògègè igi agúnlá, Ọ̀rúnmìlà gún gègé o, igi òrò ló máa kú o. Ògègè
getting ready to go, huh?
Yes.
Getting ready to take off. Well, it's been beautiful. It's been poetry. And may the gods and ancestors take care of you now, all right? Yeah, he's getting ready to go all the way back up to
All right.
New York.
Listen, we shall meet again real soon.
Yes.
And continue our paths of life. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. All right.
Okay. And so, yeah.
Safe trip. We have something to present to you so that you will be guarded by fire and ancestors.
Well, I want you to be careful on your way up there now. And what I want to do is to put on you the day of Ifa. This is a protection for you. So that, let's see, which is his left. Yes, yeah, okay. Let me have his wrist or him. That, okay. This is your protection so that whenever you are in danger, it is the god Orumala who is going to protect you. Ashishewayo mama kenyo, eshudara kikenyo. Shishewayo mama kenyo, eshudara kikenyo, eh. Agoele urumela, si bayama fini sisini, ide ti ifa. Ide ti ifa, kinse ama fi, lara omode ti yo. Tifai ifa tojo, atibayama ki. Osameji. Ikumakwani kiwoide, ikumakwani kiwoide. Ikumakwani kiwoide, oh, ikumakwani kiwoide. Agoye Orumela. Iboro. Iboye. Ibo. Yes. That's it, that's all. It's on the issue, okay? And so you don't cut the knots. You're not your protection, all right? Yeah. Okay? So, take a good trip now. Be careful, okay? Okay.
All right, see you later.
On their way back up north, about.
To be quiet.
It's going to be cold up there, but I guess that's the way.
World Beat is a show which brings you the sounds that make you think. We bring you cultural and community events, role models for youth, personalities, and a whole host of wonderful things. We're showing the whole range of the diaspora of African people. Please come back and see us again. My name is Georgia Hill. Kwaheri, which means goodbye in Swahili.
Ezintweni zonke zomhlaba ngicabanga ulindiwe sithando sami.
It is off these shores of West Africa where hurricanes are formed, yet they leave Africa and never return. It was on these same shores where we were forced onto death ships, and like the hurricanes, the ships hit ground in the Americas. Over 30 million of us survived. Over 100 million of us died and now lay at the bottom of the ocean. It is said that a frogman could follow the bones from America back to this place at Cape Coast, Ghana.
December 1994, we all say we are very sorry.
The ceremony of purification. This is a true story of two brothers who went home and found out firsthand just what happened to us in Africa. The ceremony of purification is a formal apology by our brothers and sisters for the role that our forefathers played in our enslavement. The details are grim and hurting and depicts the most cruel and inhumane treatment ever inflicted upon human beings. Narrated by Nana Imhotep Gary Bird, a renowned radio journalist from New York who witnessed the ceremony firsthand and gives a vivid description of the proceedings, along with Brother Hamlin Malana, a historian from the States now living in Ghana, and Chief K.O.K. Onyaha, the spiritual head of the Ghanaian religion. Let us now listen to Nana Bird as he describes for us the welcome home ceremony.
My name is Nana Imhotep Gary Bird, World Griot of the Black Experience, and Kuso Hini of Abanzi, and Kumbum Hini of Agogo, Ghana, West Africa. Most of you know me as the host of the longest-running black radio broadcast in New York City, the GBE, the Global Black Experience. This is a special debut issue of our GBE radio magazine recorded in Ghana, West Africa. In December of 1994, I took a contingent of GBE radio listeners with me to Ghana for the second annual PANAFest, the Pan-African Historical Theater Festival. It was our second time in Ghana with the GBE, having attended the first PANAFest 2 years before, carrying, among our delegation, Marcus Garvey Jr. PANAFest is a multi-dimensional experience of reverential events on the slave trade, a grand durbar of chiefs and festivals, performances featuring drama, music, dance, puppetry, a 5-day Pan-African colloquium, a visual art exhibition, a PANAFest expo and bazaar, workshops, seminars, meetings, a film festival, an international reunion concert, and tours. The theme of PANAFest 94 was the reemergence of African civilization and uniting the African family. This broadcast recording, which launches the GBE radio magazine, was ironically not on the scheduled PANAFest program. And yet, when we returned and aired it, it received the highest response of any program segment ever aired in our program's history. Perhaps because of the controversy which still surrounds the guilt of the African slave trade, involving Europeans, Jews, Arabs, Americans, and yes, Africans. But maybe also perhaps because a door was opened in our story that hasn't been opened before, a door to a place called home. This ceremony represents one of the most important events dealing with the involvement by Africans in the slave trade, in this case sponsored by traditional chiefs of West Africa, who took a giant step to reuniting the African family. By popular demand, here it is. Welcome home, the ceremony of purification.
Since you've gone, it's been an empty home. Come on back where you really belong. You are always welcome home. Welcome
It was our third day in Ghana, West Africa. We were on our way back to the capital, Accra, back to our rooms at the Novotel, home base for a few days before leaving for Cape Coast, and the Grand Durbar of the Chiefs, officially opening up PANAFest 94. We had spent the day in the Volta region, in a place called Klikor, where a wonderful Durbar reception had been prepared for us, featuring an audience with the kings, high priests, elders, craftspeople, and the people of the village. It was a very full day of traveling, a very full adventure of culture, and reunification with our African family roots in the best of ways. After our experience in Clicor with Togbiato and the brothers and sisters of the Volta, my group was treated to a delicious meal, which had been arranged at a restaurant along the way earlier in the day. With the Volta River and a beautiful African garden with African sculptures for ambiance, as well as a delicious Ghanaian dinner, we were in heaven. The minibus was rolling across the road as we watched or waved to the brothers and sisters roadside, either just out for the evening air or selling their wares by the glow of candlelight along the way. After a long but pleasant journey, accompanied by the music of Bob Marley and Bijou Vaughn, we arrived at our hotel late in the evening, many of us still jet-lagged from the trip over. We also faced a late-night dilemma. A lecture had been scheduled with an African-American living in Ghana, Dr. Hamet Maulana, currently in residence at the Du Bois Center, an outstanding scholar and historian who had studied under the legendary Sheikh Anta Diop. Also an Egyptologist, or chematologist, as some of us prefer to call it. Most of the group was simply too tired to attend, but a few of us held out, some out of honoring our commitment to his presentation, as well as being a bit greedy for whatever cultural dessert his lecture might offer to the banquet of the day. We were not disappointed. Dr. Maulana's lecture traced the present-day population of Ghana to the ancient Comedians and pointed the way, historically, as to why so many of us who were taken away would and must return.
Of the 9th December 1994, we all say we are very sorry. And we bow our heads down in shame, a big shame. For this act, we want to purify schools and schemes of which traditional rulers are sitting now. And soon after that, we shall have a minute silence in honor of the victims of the slave trade. So meanwhile, I call upon the chief priest to purify the tools and the skins of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. But before I sit down, once again, I say we are very, very sorry. Thank you very much. weren't for sure what it was going to be. Something happened, didn't it? It would not be complete, man. You know what I mean? Unless this happened. In other words, you can go back to the United States and make it official that we're coming home now. Can nobody stop it? I'm telling you, nobody can stop it. It's been given to the gods. You understand? I'm telling you, brother, can nobody stop it? Not with their airplanes, the bombs, nothing can stop this. This is it, man. And what better place for it to be done? Ghana. Ghana. I told you, a holy line comes through Khufu's pyramid, goes straight through Cape Coast Castle Dungeon, from Khufu's pyramid all the way to Bahia, Brazil. The other one goes through from where Mu sat, through the holy city of Mecca, through Portugal, Spain, through the thorns of the Statue of Liberty in New York, down through the slave states of the United States, and connects at its base with Jamaica, Haiti, and connects to square the triangle.
Tell me your feeling about the timing, and I'm thinking of several things here. I'm thinking of obviously the dialogue of President Jerry Rawlings related to this issue, as I mentioned a couple of years ago, the first manifest. I'm thinking now to 1994. What made this possible in terms of it happening now? Why not 2 years from now? Why now in particular? What significance does the time play in this situation?
Well, you know, as I said, brother, the whole thing is spiritual. You see, like I said before, all of this has to do with timing. The markers were put in place. I spoke about Khufu's pyramid tonight. They set a time. They said, as it was in the beginning, so it shall be in the end. The children of the Omahinis, the Ahims, the Pharaohs, they were discharged. And it says, before the year 2001, they shall return to their mother culture. I emphasize mother culture. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of us coming home. Now we must learn the culture. We have everything else. The only thing the African American or the African diasporan don't have is the culture. He's got the wit, the perceptibility, the second wind. He got all the wherewithal to rebuild this nation. But he doesn't have the culture. Once, and the chieftaincy here is the only ones that can give him that culture.
Victims of the slave trade, we commit your souls to the Lord, so that on that resurrection day, you may also rise. You may say, in your way, you can call your own name here, what kind, when you are from Nigeria. Your Majesty, brothers and sisters, from all Ghana, from all parts of the world, from all the black world in diaspora, I salute you for coming together this evening, or this morning, very much early morning of December 9, 1994, to perform this very important ceremony of contrition over the tragedy of the 12 centuries of history, in which our African brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, were scattered away from this our continent to the cruelties of the American society, in which many of them died. 1441, when Gontal, a Portuguese sailor, with his friend, came to Sierra Leone here, Senegal, and took away 12 African slaves and presented as gift to the That's the Prince Henry of Portugal in 1441.
I understand that the Panafest is a big event. It's a festival that takes place every other year in Ghana, and you take tourists over to that.
Oh, quite frequently.
Okay.
And they love it to death because we have people here from Detroit, Spain, elementary school, middle school.
The middle school kids?
Right, they gave on a performance there.
They actually performed during this African festival?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yes, they did.
Okay, let's see if they're going to show us, if we can look at a little bit of footage of the Panafest. Welcome back to Expecting a Miracle. You're joining us midway our tour of Ghana. Now, where are we now, Michael?
We got a tour going down to the Volta region.
The Volta region. And where is that?
The Volta region, that's east of Ghana. That's where I take them on a ferry boat ride.
Okay.
Where they'll see the Akasambo Dam.
What is the Akasambo Dam?
The Akasambo Dam is the dam that is responsible for all the electricity in Ghana.
Really?
And 3 more other countries.
Okay. And that's where we are now. Beautiful countryside. Where are we now?
We're going down into the village.
Okay, this is the tour group again.
Right.
I'd say that it's not a bad idea to try to stay a little physically fit for these trips.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Because how can you learn anything until you go there and feel the ground and touch it yourself and know?
mighty race, accomplish what ye will.
It is off these shores of West Africa where hurricanes are formed, yet they leave Africa and never return. It was on these same shores where we were forced onto death ships, and like the hurricanes, the ships hit grounds in the Americas. Over 30 million of us survived. Over 100 million of us died and now lay at the bottom of the ocean. It is said that a frogman could follow the bones from America back to this place at Cape Coast, Ghana.
December 1994, we all say we are